Good evening, Fort Collins. I'm Jacky Wilson, and you've just tuned in to CTV Talks. After a refreshing spring break, we're back and excited about all the events that are taking place right here in Fort Collins. Tonight, we'll take a look at some inspiring and out-of-this-world events that are happening in our community, and then catch this week's weather updates with Austin Harley. But first, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Can you introduce yourself and kind of tell us why you're here?
All right, well, my name's Nate Todd, and I'm one of the two directors for the drag show that the student organization for gay, bi, lesbian, and transgender students puts on biannually every semester.
Cool. So this year, I heard you have like a stellar theme. Literally.
Yeah, I mean, well, every semester is always, you know, every theme is awesome, but this semester is A Million Light Queers Away.
Oh, nice.
And
I like the pun.
Yeah, it's space. So.
Cool. Very nice. And so you're the co-director, right? So you guys both get to work on this together.
Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine, and he does drag as well, so he
Nice.
does like the drag aspect of it, and I just, you know, do everything, not everything else, but, you know. The non-drag.
Keeping you busy for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, what a
lot
huge,
of work.
because this is a huge event. I mean, tickets sell out like.
Yeah, actually, in fact, they're on sale this week, and we sell them from 9 to 4 every single day. And since we have 2 showings, you know, we have so many tickets to sell. We have 60 tickets per show that we can sell every day, or we'll give away for free. They're for free. And so before like 11 o'clock, you know, 60 are already gone for like the late 7 p.m. showing. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. Yeah. And obviously you've got this cool theme. Where did you come up with such an interesting name?
Well, queer is like a kind of an umbrella term for people who recognize as GLBT, and it's, you know, an identity that some people have adopted to, you know, like, I don't want to say like label themselves, but it's a term that a lot of people like to say, and so, you know, and we like to be punny with our with our themes, and so we were just talking about how space was kind of like a fun idea, and one of us was just like, well, why don't we do A Million Light Queers Away? And everyone voted for it.
It just stuck, and it's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, it stuck, yeah.
How cool. So if I have never been to a drag show before,
yeah.
What can I expect going into this?
Well, you can expect a really fun time.
A blast time.
First off, well, our drag show is actually a fundraiser. Each
Okay.
semester, we either fundraise for a nonprofit organization or the GLBTQQA Resource Center. And so this semester, we're raising money for the Northern Colorado AIDS Project.
Okay.
And so you can expect to go in there and see, you know, 20 plus awesome drag performances and a bunch of singles being thrown on the stage to collect to then donate to our organization.
Oh,
so,
I like how this works. It's
yeah.
getting a little scandalous. I like it. How fun. So you said this is the new like stellar light year theme. I love that idea. What were some of the previous themes that went on?
That's a great question. The first drag show I ever went to was around Halloween, and so it was like kings, queens, and scary things.
Oh my gosh, so fun.
And we once had, instead of don't ask, don't tell, because it was around the time it was getting repealed, it was do ask, do tell drag show. And then, yeah, last semester was So You Think You Can Sashay, which was going off of So You Think
Love
You
it.
Can Dance.
Of course, so fun. And so I heard there's prizes, so there's even a perk for if we get to go to these things.
Oh yeah, totally. We have a lot of donators from the community that like to give, you know, certificates or gift certificates or coupons from their businesses to give off at the raffle. And
cool.
Chipotle gives us like free burrito cards, and Cold Stone gives us free ice cream. Tribal Rights gives a $25 gift certificate.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And then there's a gay bar down in Denver that gives tickets to their Drag Nation shows, which are like ours, but like professional drag.
But I'm sure we can see a really rockin' couple performances, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. We have professional drag queens and kings come up from Denver to perform here at CSU. Yes. Yeah,
that's so
awesome.
neat. So I heard you were talking about this is free for students, correct?
Yeah, free for the entire community.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So how does this accommodate like non-students that want to attend?
Well, we do advertise within the community, and we have tickets set aside for students, and we also have tickets set aside online for non-CSU students to get tickets as well.
Okay.
And so we have like a process where they would email us, and we have a generic, hi, thank you for showing your interest. This is what you can do to get your ticket.
Right.
And a nice response. So.
Neat. How fun. So what is your favorite part? I want to know about your favorite part about the drag show.
You know, I've been to so many before.
Yeah.
I started off as, well, I hosted the first one I ever went to, but then I sat and I watched for a couple of years, and every single one I go to, it's a completely new experience. It's always something like new and fun, and there's always like a new performer that just like blows my mind every single time, and I absolutely love that.
That's so fun. Well, thank you so much for coming in and
thank you.
Just letting us shed some light, or light years, I guess, like queers, on this wonderful event. For more information about the drag show, visit the Facebook page posted by the SOGLBT CSU. But don't go away, Rams. We'll be right back with some special guests from a CSU organization that hopes to change our community.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Welcome back, Fort Collins. This is CTV Talks, and tonight we're here with some representatives from TEDx at CSU. So can you guys introduce yourselves?
My name's Katie, and I'm the VP of Marketing for TEDxCSU.
I'm Erin, and I am the PR coordinator for TEDxCSU.
Very cool. So can you tell me, if I didn't know, what is TEDx?
Well, it's just like the TED that you see, the TED Talks. It stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. Okay. And it's just a good way for people in your community to get together and spread your ideas. That's kind of the motto, is having ideas worth spreading. So that's kind of what we're hoping to do here at TEDxCSU, just on a smaller level.
Yeah. Nice. And so what does the X represent?
So X basically just distinguishes between the main TED organization and then TEDx are individually organized events. Okay. So TEDxCSU is just the student organization that puts on all TED events at CSU.
Very cool. And what does TED really mean to CSU?
It's just a really great way to get involved in your community. I mean, we've met a lot of great people just being involved in TEDxCSU and going to some of the events. It's a really great way just to meet people and talk with some compelling conversation, I think. Right. It really expands your brain to do more than just what you're assigned to do in class.
Right, interesting. And so what kind of forums are being held? Like, what kind of conversation topics should we expect from a TEDx?
Well, TED is all about like expanding your perspectives and kind of challenging your point of view. So TED kind of, you can talk about anything with TED.
Yeah.
There's no specific kind of
filter.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we're going to have an event tomorrow night on Thursday that's focused on social change in your community. We've got some speakers coming in, and we're just going to talk on that topic. But I mean, those conversations could go anywhere, and that's kind of the best thing, is that the conversation can go anywhere.
Very cool. And so can you tell us a little bit more about this TEDx salon that we're having? I want to hear about, like, what can I expect going into this salon tomorrow night?
Well, it's different than a regular TEDx conference. It's going to be a lot smaller, and it's going to have some speakers, and we're going to be watching some videos. Okay. And so we're going to have conversation periods in between all of the videos, and that's where you'll get to meet some people. Nice. So yeah, it's going to be a lot more intimate.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I mean, I think some people might be intimidated by a TEDx event because it's like, oh, schooling again. I watched one of these videos in class, which are actually really interesting. But what can I expect going and seeing these kinds of things happen in person rather than watching it, just on the screen?
There's just a different level of engagement, I think, being able to sort of be involved with the speakers and afterwards being able to discuss it with like a smaller group of people and to ask the speakers questions since they'll be there. So it's just like a whole new level of kind of immersion and involvement in the TED experience.
Very cool. And so how did you guys get involved in TEDx?
I just heard about it from a friend, really. I mean, and I'd heard that TED was on campus, but I heard from a friend who was involved and just got on board.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, when we had our TED conference last year, tickets sold out so fast that I wasn't even able to go, and I was so sad, and I was like, I have to get involved with this organization. So I just kind of hunted everyone down to see who I could talk to get involved, and here I am.
Yeah, very cool. And you said that the salon that's happening tomorrow night is going to be about social change. Can you tell us a little bit more about why that is important to the Fort Collins community?
Well, the reason it's important, I think, is just to keep yourself aware. I think a lot of times with communities, even through technology, we think we're getting more attached to people that we knew from kindergarten or something. You think, wow, my community is really close, when really sometimes it keeps us apart. And at CSU, it's a good way to just connect with people you didn't even know you could. So that's
right.
There are ways that you can stay close.
Definitely.
For events like these, yeah.
And so why do you think that that's a worthy topic? I mean, I've seen a lot of TED Talks about education, or a lot of TED Talks about, various things in science, etc. But why is social change? Why is that one so important?
I think it's really important because it's something that everyone can get involved in at different levels. I mean, like you said, you hear all of these different talks about big changes we need to make in education, or, in our government, or big technological changes, and you're sitting here and you're like, well, I don't really know how I can get involved and do anything about these issues. And so with social change, it's something that's much more grassroots, and it's something that everyone can get involved in, even at our age.
Right.
So
definitely. And you said that at this event you'll actually be having discussion forums as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So how is that going to be facilitated?
We're just going to have some people at tables, and we're going to have different topics at every table, and we'll be able to talk about the talks that we just saw.
That's so cool. Well, I'm so excited to hear a whole bunch about this tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. If you're interested in attending the TED Talk, visit the Gray Rock Room in the LSC tomorrow night at 5. But before you plan on attending any events this week, you might want some weather updates with Austin Harley. Stay tuned.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back from the break. I'm weathercaster Austin Harley. A beautiful day today in Fort Collins. However, it is a different story this evening. Snow is moving into the mountains tonight, as you can see per this graphic. It was very warm today, and it will be a little cooler tomorrow. However, this snow that we're talking about really isn't going to reach into Fort Collins. There's a chance for some rain and snow showers this evening. However, nothing too significant, probably just a little bit of rain and some sprinkles, maybe a couple flurries. However, different areas of the state are struggling this evening. Winter weather warning for the high country, upwards of a foot in those areas. Winter weather advisory for the east of the Continental Divide, where they could see several inches. Different story in southeast Colorado. Fire weather warning today, where they saw high winds, low humidity, and hot temperatures, perfect for fires. Different story for Fort Collins, though. It is 54 degrees right now. We aren't struggling with those winds as much, so that's why we didn't get a fire weather warning today. Certainly, it's going to be picking up, though. 10 miles per hour right now with some sprinkles falling outside our studio. It will be different tomorrow. For now, though, 16 degrees, winds are out of the west at 16 in Boulder, 12 in Fort Collins, and 18 in Evergreen. We'll definitely be picking up tomorrow and even more on Friday. You can see that tonight, though, 33 for Fort Collins. So the big story is warmer temperatures and higher winds. So 33 is fairly mild for a low for this time of year. 33 in Denver, 22 in Vail, and 37 is the low in Grand Junction this evening. Tomorrow, those winds will be back. 18 from the northwest in Fort Collins. That's the wind speed. We could gust into the mid-20s, 25 in Evergreen. And warm tomorrow, 52 in Fort Collins. Take a look at your 5-day here, and we'll see that we have those winds returning the next few days. Sadly, we will be struggling with those, but it looks like it's going to be very warm over the weekend. Stay tuned for the forecast. Looks like we could have some more temperatures later on Tuesday. Jackie, windy is not what I like.
I know, especially coming back from spring break. Like, we better watch out for those winds.
I know. I went home and enjoyed the warm weather, and now winds.
Now what? Oh, well, at least this weekend will be nice, especially for all those cool events happening.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah,
I'll be grabbing a
definitely.
jacket on my way out, though, just in case.
I know, just in case. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm Jacky Wilson for CTV Talks.
And I'm Austin Harley. Have a great night, Rams.
Take my hand and start a brand new day.
Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.